And welcome again to House to Home. I'm Clyde Hawsey, and with me today is Isaiah Payne with the Spokane Home Builders. And you know, we have a great show to be here with you today. And one of the main things is that we are looking to find a pro. And what does that actually mean? Well, the Spokane Home Builders have been around for a long time, and maybe Isaiah can explain on that. But bottom line, the membership exceeds 700 people, and they are all pros. And Isaiah here today is going to explain to us some of the ins and outs of being Find a Pro. And so, Isaiah, introduce our guest.
Yeah, thanks.
And
Brian.
I say thank you for joining us here today.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, certainly we want to bring to the table our community some trusted pros, people who have been around their industry for a while, who are going to do things the right way, and that's really who our association memberships are. There's a vetting process, and these are people who are well qualified, well experienced, going to treat people the right way, and we're really excited to feature those members and really help point our community to those trusted pros. And so Find a Pro on our website, shba.com, is a great place to go if you're looking for help with your next home project. And today we have Jennifer Go with Paint Crafters. And you do what? Residential, commercial, some also government project painting. Talk a little bit about what you do and kind of the part of the community you are here in Spokane, Eastern Washington.
So I do business development for Paint Crafters. We have been in business for a little over 30 years now, and we do a lot of custom homes. I think we've worked on probably every single school in the county.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty close anyway.
Very cool.
Yes. We do many residential neighborhoods in the area as well as outside of the area, so North Idaho and the Central Washington. And we are doing a lot of historical projects as well. So we've worked on quite a few different projects that require, a lot of time and consideration. It's a thoughtful process, and Paint Crafters is really a good choice for those jobs that are a little bit more than just painting your home.
Well, I would say thank you for joining us because, again, I like to be educated to what is taking place. Mm-hmm. And the neat thing about this complete show here, folks, is that Jennifer is not just a professional at what she does, but there's another story that we're going to tell you on the next segment about. But the bottom line is that she is a professional, just as some of our major sponsors, Spokane Home Builders and Avista, and a couple other ones that we're going to share along the way.
River Ridge Hardware, one of our sponsors of the program, as well as Rainman Seamless Rain Gutters, really great companies to engage with.
Right.
Again, other pros who, if you need help with your next home project, great people to go and visit. Are going to help you get there and get that project complete in a way that's cost effective, and going to help you get it done.
Well, Jennifer, that's one of the reasons why this program has actually been started with the Spokane Home Builders, is that our listening audience, they have all kinds of needs out there every so often. And right now, during this period of time that we're all wearing a mask and we're working on things at home, we need to get information. And you're one of the parts that makes to Find a Pro. Mm-hmm. If we have a need within our home going into a change in the weather, and it is getting to be wintertime, yet I wore a short sleeve today because it's kind of transition. Mm-hmm. But what are some quick tips that you might share with people this time of the year in painting their home?
I mean, the first thing I would say is you can paint when it's cold out. Anything below 32 degrees, you want to maybe wait until the springtime. But anything above that, as long as it's going to be that way for 8 hours and the paint has time to dry.
Above freezing.
Above freezing, you're in good shape.
Okay. Interior wise, good ventilation, I assume. Safety?
Absolutely. And the same as any other construction project that you're doing inside, you're going to want to make sure that you have the proper ventilation. There are a lot of paints out there that have the low odors and things like that, which is great. And that would be something I would suggest definitely for interior work.
Right. Well, one of the other things is that you have to allow enough time for the doors to dry completely before you close them. Otherwise, you're going to come back. But just little quick tips. And again, some of this, what they call it, frog tape? or something like that when you're trimming out? I mean, I'm talking about doing it yourself,
Sure.
people.
So if you're going to be doing it yourself, yes, you can absolutely use a masking tape to do that. For doors, I would
Her
probably.
staff is skilled, I'm not.
Yes, I would probably be using tape myself, but our guys definitely are more of the cut-in type.
Right.
As far as doors go, it might be in your best interest to take them off
Oh.
the hinges and
Great
remove
idea.
hardware and kind of get it all done that way. If you have a garage, that's the best place to do it, is on a sawhorse. I definitely suggest not doing it outside where the wind could maybe blow some dirt into it, and then next thing you know, you've got grass clippings and all sorts of fun things in your door.
Well, that's one of the most important things, folks, is that you spend all this time and then a fingerprint gets on it or some dust and dirt. And so she's correct. You got to do it inside in some form of a garage or a shelter area. In regards to other painting ideas, I assume because you said commercial, and that's a real big issue that a lot of us don't understand. I assume concrete floors are even painted and
Right, you can do epoxy floors. That's something that we specialize in.
Oh, really?
Definitely is epoxy. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do those, and we're kind of working with one of our suppliers on this product that you can mix in different metallics, and it makes it look like this beautiful marble, but it's
Wow.
but it's an epoxy. It's a paint. So it cures in less than 24 hours. It's walkable at that point. And these are things that you can do as a homeowner. You could do these yourself, absolutely. A squeegee brush and pushing it around on the floor and being careful not to mix it too much.
so this may be an option instead of carpet or hardwood floors or other
Absolutely.
finish. You can actually paint
Same
them.
with countertops.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. You can do it with countertops. I think one of our paint reps did it for a sink, a bathroom sink. He did it inside a bathroom sink, and it was this newer product, and I wish I could remember it. I want to call it something, but I don't think that's right, so I don't want to throw it out there.
Can I throw this out at this time, Jennifer? And there's a lot of things we want to talk about, but
Sure.
how do we make contact with your firm, your company, and what is your phone number and email and so forth? How do we make
So
contact?
you can contact Paint Crafters at 509-244-1000. You can contact Paint Crafters through our website, which is paintcraftersplus, spelled out, PLUS.com. And then my email is jennifergoe, Goe, at paintcraftersplus.com. And you
Okay.
can contact me at any time. And I also am the one that answers everything on the website.
Well, she has all the information. That's what we're trying to say here.
Absolutely.
So what are a few other things that, again, we've talked about some floors, wall paints. I mean, are things changing in that industry? And I think you brought up a real good point because of the virus and how we're talking here today through the mask.
Mm-hmm.
Have things changed? Do you still see there's a lot of business? Are you doing fine? What's taking place?
We have been doing quite well throughout the quarantine. Luckily for Paint Crafters and for our employees, we've done a lot of government work as well, so it was deemed essential very early on. So our guys were able to keep going. And then as we moved into that second phase of the quarantine, it was just the precautions that were necessary to take. So there were some residential customers that weren't so comfortable having guys in their house, and that was totally fine. But a lot of it was just fine. Our guys masked up. We did everything that we needed to do, and are continuing to have quite the year. We're full.
Jennifer, I'm going to kind of go old-fashioned on us a little bit, but I find out, folks, that when you have somebody invited to your home as a guest to do work, make sure they give you a contract, something in writing.
Yes.
I don't know how much detail you do, but I'm...
Quite a bit.
Okay, explain how you handle that. I mean, I assume you detail things out and
Yes,
qualities
everything, number one thing I think in our company, next to quality, is going to be transparency. It's a big deal. Relationships mean a lot. We've been in this community a long time and plan to be here a long time.
Right.
So when we give a quote, It's going to be exactly what we're doing, everything we're doing, how many hours it's going to take, who's going to be on that job, what's the product we're going to be using, and anything else that's going to pertain to that particular project. And you're going to know exactly what's happening at all times. Our guys, when they come in, they're clean, they're professional, they're courteous. They will let you know exactly what is happening, answer any questions that you may have, and really make you feel like you're a part of that project.
You know, I have just finished doing some business with a person like this, a pro. In fact, we need to get him within the association, the more I'm thinking about it. But my bottom line is that you have to ask things in writing. Just because I know who Jennifer is, I don't know what her, painting company is about. Ask the questions. What is going to be provided? Put it in writing. Ask the question, how long is it going to take? When are you going to start? Do you need a down payment? Are you going to file a lien on me until I ask?
And we will have all of that in the contract.
Okay, well, that's what I want to know.
100%. When we're doing our bids, we do it on the contract. You're seeing the contract when you're seeing the bid. And that's one thing that's really nice. So it's like if you agree to everything and everything looks good, then it's simple. It's a signature.
Do I need an attorney to read it?
Nope.
Okay, that resolves my issue.
If I can read it, anybody can read it. It'll be just fine.
Well, that's why I asked, well, now how do you pronounce your name? It's G-O-E. And she said, oh, go.
It's
See,
that simple.
It's that simple. And so that's what I want to be saying to you out there, our viewing audience, that we want to take the show with the Spokane Home Builders to find a pro. You're one of them. And that's what it's all going to be about, is so that we can identify when these people come to our front door, and they give you a card, they give you information, they're about safety, they're with booties, whatever is going to be done, what type of to find a pro. And that to me is one of the most important things. So Jennifer, any other closing tip? And if not, we're going to break and then we'll come back to you.
I would just say, ask for references.
Good point.
I think that's a big deal. When a reputable company, no matter what field they're in, has good references and there's no question about it, then you know what you're dealing with, and you know from someone else's experience.
Well, Jennifer, we're going to take a break now. We're going to come back with Jennifer. We're going to talk about women in business here in Spokane, how it all takes place. So come back and join us. Isaiah, you're going to be with us?
I'll be here.
Okay. We'll see you right shortly. We'll just be right back.
To help you be safe, Washington state law requires you to call 811 2 full business days before you plan, for example, to dig, drill, plow, pull from, or pound anything into the ground. Be prepared to provide the operator with the correct address, cross street, and a description of your work. You must mark the dig area with white paint. The operator will inform you of the utilities notified of your impending excavation. Wait for all their marks. Be safe and dig with care.
When building a home or considering a major remodel, who are you going to choose? The Spokane Home Builders Association is an organization that works to elevate professionalism in the residential construction industry. We promote, protect, and educate for our community, building our community one home at a time. We are the Spokane Home Builders Association.
Here at River Ridge Hardware, we carry a great selection of Krylon brand spray paints, Color Master, general purpose, the Rust Protector for taking care of metal, Fusion for taking care of plastics, and the Supermax that can take care of it all.
Weather in the inland Northwest can wear you down. And if your gutters are in poor condition or you do not have gutters, you could suffer damage that could cost a fortune to fix. Rainman Seamless Rain Gutters has almost 30 years of professional experience in serving the inland Northwest region and strives to ensure customer service that is second to none, from the time you call to the end of the project.
And welcome back to House to Home. This is Clyde Hawsey, Isaiah Payne with Spokane Home Builders, and our special guest, Jennifer Go. And Jennifer just was talking to us about her business, and I was saying, well, how does it all happen here in Spokane with women in business? And you said, hey, I'm part of an association, so if there's some of you out there that would like to maybe look at that, maybe you can fill us in, because I don't know where to go.
Sure.
You didn't catch that, did you, Jennifer?
In my industry in construction, we have the National Association of Women in Construction, and it's been around for over 50 years. The Spokane chapter specifically has been around for over 50 years. So it is the leading association in women in construction. We fundraise for scholarships to help with workforce development, getting women into the trades and starting them young. So it's for the younger ones. The trades are, as anybody in this industry knows, we struggle to find employees every day, and we want to teach the women that are coming up, like, hey, you can do any of these things too. You want to, be an electrician, and so we work from the clerical all the way to executive and everything in between.
So what you're saying is that your association, and what is it called?
The National Association of Women in Construction, so better known as NAWIC.
Okay, you got that? NAWIC. Okay, and if you don't know, call Jennifer.
Yes,
okay,
I will tell you all about it.
Okay, and she'll give us the addresses, don't worry about that. Okay, now I want to say this again. If someone says, hey, I know a young lady that I think she would enjoy getting into painting. She loves doing it, or whatever it's going to be. She can even be an electrician. But where does she go? So if she would call you and you could help her get a direction?
Absolutely. So one thing that's amazing about NAWIC and that I love so much about it is that I can call any woman that is a member of NAWIC in the entire country and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for in this particular part, and they're going to drop everything they're doing to help me, because that's what we do. We're trying to bring each other up, and we're trying to, really be there for one another. And so the educational opportunities are amazing, and the scholarships that we provide for women throughout the country. And it's so much relationship.
Okay, again, this is to be employed, a woman in business to get employed or into an industry. This is just not the leadership, but this could be the actual hands-on, right?
And that comes with the apprenticeships. We'll hook you up with companies that will do apprenticeships. Some don't.
I love that.
Will you talk a little bit more too? I know, right now with just kind of the shifts that are happening with a lot of different businesses and different industries, a lot of, some of the more office type work is not as prevalent, or people are being laid off.
Right.
I talk about right now what that looks like for your company, or as you're hearing in the industry.
Sure.
Mostly, I think we're hearing that if someone's willing to go work in the trades right now, there's opportunity there. Can you talk a little bit about that opportunity? What that kind of current state is in the industry?
In the construction industry, you're exactly right. If you're willing to do the work, we're willing to teach you. And that's really what it comes down to. Not everybody is meant to have a 4-year degree.
I agree.
Not everybody is meant to be in that. And I think
that's a whole lot of debt too.
It's a ton of debt.
You can go right into the trades, be working into...
Be paid to learn.
Yeah.
Is this somewhat along the line of the trade industry? I mean, there used to be trade schools.
Yes.
I don't know if they even exist anymore.
I think they do, to some degree.
Limited.
Yeah, they're limited. And, a lot of the times I think that companies that will take on apprentices is really more where it's at right now. I'm a part of a few different workforce development committees. And one thing that I like to do is get into the schools and get in while they're young. Middle school age is probably my favorite. And, to really get in there and say, hey, you can do other things. Not everybody is meant to be a coder.
Right. And not everybody will have the opportunity to attend a college.
That's right.
But the end result is that these people can have a job and be as good as anything else coming out of the colleges.
And making just as much money or better.
Right. Okay. I don't want to forget this.
Yeah.
How do we make contact with finding out more about it? Or find out about you or the website or so forth?
Sure.
Fill us in.
So you can look up NAWIC Spokane at nawicspokane.org. That's NAWIC Spokane.org. And you'll find all of the information about our local chapter there, leadership positions, committees, and everything Spokane. From there, you can click onto the national website to get the much bigger picture.
If I was in Seattle, I could be listening to this and I could find one.
Absolutely.
Is that correct?
So we have on the west side, I believe there's 4 different chapters. And so we have regional events. In fact, in the spring, Spokane is hosting the regional event. Whether that's going to be virtual or not is up in the air right now, but it's kind of a big deal. And there's going to be women from all over the region. So Northern California, Idaho, a little bit of Montana now, and all of Washington.
I need to revert back on something. If I, again, was looking, what kind of trades are all covered that you can kind of guide them into? Just construction?
So this would be everything construction based,
Okay.
but that can also include, whether it's architecture,
Okay,
designers.
there you go.
And things like that too, of course.
It's not the hammer and nail one, all of it.
Not all the time, but that's what we like.
Right.
I like to get my hammer and my nails out. So
I hear you. Well, I know the Spokane Home Builders, they had a program that was going on, a trades program, and I'm pulling a blank here.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can contact the Home Builders Association as well. We have a lot of great members who, again, are ready to put people to work, and there are great opportunities in the trades. There's some workforce development. There's some opportunities that we were hoping to have that have been delayed, but certainly that one-on-one contact, we'd love to connect people with members of our association right here in Spokane, doing construction work and bring them along, teach them. Someone gets to learn a new trade and as well can make a really good living, without having to incur a whole lot of debt.
Well, and Jennifer, we talked about this once before, but that's why we have such great sponsors of the show, which is being Avista and Spokane Home Builders and River Ridge Hardware.
River Ridge Hardware, Rain Band Seamless Rain Gutters. Yeah, some great places to go if you're looking for help with your next home project.
Right, and explain a little bit of finding a pro, because that ties exactly into what you're talking about.
yes, it
Be
is.
in contact with the people. Again, we want to take and allow you to have the opportunity that you can actually watch House to Home and say, hey, guess what? I heard the Spokane Home Builders, if they have a need to have some concrete poured or adjust a garage door, I better give the Spokane Home Builders. Maybe they can give me some recommendation. That's
right.
what I want you, a place to go. It's difficult when you don't have anywhere to go and you wonder, what do I do? So finding a pro, and again, women in business, again, give us the information, would you please, so people write it down.
Yeah, so that is nawicspokane.org, so NAWIC Spokane.org, and you can find all of the information on our website, and you can always contact me directly.
And your company again is?
I'm with Paint Crafters and Fluid Applied Roofing, and you can contact me at jennifergo@paintcraftersplus.com.
Any quick tips? Because again, we're getting into that time of the year inside. Any painting tips? Again, we started the show with painting, and I'm going to come back to you again.
As far as
Maybe what to look for, right? If I'm looking around my house going, do I need to have it painted? I mean, are there maybe some things that I should be looking for in that evaluation phase?
I would say protecting your woodwork.
Okay.
Good.
That's the first thing that comes to mind for me is, take a look at your woodwork. If you're seeing some bare areas, some raw areas, touch-ups are great, but it might be time to really, renew it. And there are some great products out there that can help with that. So if you're looking to learn more about that, you can go to any of the Miller stores in town. Those guys are amazing. I love talking with the
River Ridge is another one just like that on the north side of town. I mean, I think one of the things that I really wanted to put out here is that don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask for a contract. Have it spelled out. And if you're in doubt, you're not going to be using Jennifer, but maybe you want to know if everything's covered. Give her a call anyway. I think you'll cover. I mean, you can't do everything in Spokane, can you?
No, and a lot of the times, we might not be able to do it, or we might think, maybe we're a little bit too much for you right now. You could do this yourself, and we'll let you know.
But being professionals as they are, they're going to help you out. So, Isaiah, I think we really hit a home run with this one. And Jennifer, I want to say thank you for both programs that we've done here today, and you're a real pro. That's what this whole show is about. Spokane Home Builders, find a pro, find what your needs are, give them a call, get hold of them. So until next time, I'm Clyde Hosey. Isaiah, Jennifer, thank you. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Avista.